Hello my friends, today we're going to be reviewing the anime Yasuke. So this is the second time I've talked about Yasuke. The first time we covered his African heritage, and so if you want to learn about the Yao people, you should definitely check out that first video I did about Yasuke. And this video is not going to be as educational, because today I wanted to do just a straight up review of the anime, because it's not very often that we get to see an anime that stars a black character, right? So that's what we're doing today, just a good old review. So if you haven't heard of the anime Yasuke, basically it's a show that's very loosely based on a historical figure named Yasuke, who was an actual African samurai in Japan. And the reason why I say it's very loosely based on it is because you're going to see a bunch of sci-fi stuff like robots, and you're going to see fantasy stuff like magic and all that good stuff. Does it work? Yes, I actually enjoyed watching this show. It's only 6 episodes long, so it's definitely worth your time. And I believe it's a really good show, but it could have been great. Now the reason I say it could have been great, or what I suppose I should say is it could have been greater, is that the show is too short for its own good. Like, what we got is good, but there are so many characters that don't get developed enough. And I think probably the best example of this is there's that Russian lady who turns into a bear. Why is she so self-sacrificing towards the end of the show? We don't get the character growth for me to be like, oh yeah, okay, that totally makes sense that she went and did that, and spoiler alert, she dies. But she died for those people that she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know these people. Why is she dying for them? Like, I understand why the robot did a self-sacrifice. Okay, his best friend fucking died, so that makes sense. And even still, I kind of wish those characters were more developed as well. But the Russian lady, like, there's not enough reason there. And yeah, overall the whole cast should have had a bit more time to develop. They only gave us 6 episodes. I would have liked to learn more about Yasuke. I would have liked to learn more about every character. You get my point. I was gonna try to name a couple characters, but I'm not that great with names. To be honest, I'm not that great with names. And I finished watching it more than a month ago. So I'm already a little foggy on the characters' names. I apologize. Yeah, what we got was good, but there should have been more development. And I kind of have a suspicion as to why they only gave us 6 episodes. And I could be totally wrong about this. I'm just spitballing. But Netflix some time ago also had another black-led anime, which I was hoping was going to be fucking amazing, and it wasn't. It was alright, but it had some issues. There was this show called Canon Busters. I don't know if you've seen it. It was basically like a black outlaw star. Or if you don't get that reference, a black Cowboy Bebop or a black Trigun. I mean, it basically took influence from all 3 of those awesome old school anime westerns. But it just didn't hit the nail on the head, so to speak. And my guess is, and they never gave that show a second season. There was supposed to be 2 seasons, but they only gave it 1. So I'm guessing that Netflix didn't want to devote as much of a budget to this new thing, Yasuke, because maybe they were worried it wouldn't perform as well. I could be totally wrong about this. But like, Yasuke really feels like Yasuke's way better than Canon Busters. All right, it's way better. It's really good. Again, it's worth your time. You should watch it. But like, I feel like it could have been greater if it just had double the amount of episodes, even just 12 episodes. Why couldn't we have 12 episodes of that? 12 episodes would have been plenty of time to flesh out the characters. I mean, if I'm being honest, like, you know, this could have easily been a 26 episode anime too. I mean, a lot of the great animes are 26, right? Yeah, I think 26 episodes long. Like the ones that it's inspired by. The animes that I'm thinking about Cannon Busters again. Cannon Busters was inspired by those. Yasuke, I guess, is more so anime-wise, it would be more so inspired by Afro Samurai, which is also a great anime. You should definitely check out Afro Samurai. The first season is much better than the second season of Afro Samurai. But yeah, that was a good one. And since we're talking about black-led anime in general, I might as well just mention or give a shout out to Carol and Tuesday. That's a really good one. Definitely check that out, especially if you're into hearing a lot of different types of music, because it's a musical anime. Lastly, I'll just briefly talk about its African cultural inclusions. So, again, in my previous video, and that was when I started watching the anime, I mentioned that I noticed that they included the Yao culture as Yasuke's heritage, and there's also a dude who is from the Benin culture, and he makes these spirits that look like Benin warriors. So that's cool. And there's nothing else really after that. That's pretty much it. Now, is that enough? Yeah, I think it's enough. They don't have to go too heavy on things. But I would have liked, obviously, to have even more African cultural stuff in there. Now, a great way they could have added more African culture into this anime would have been to develop more of Yasuke's backstory. Now, I know that we did get to learn a lot about his backstory, but the backstory that we learned about Yasuke was just his history in Japan. What about his life back in Africa? We could have seen that, and that would have added a whole lot more to this anime. And not just with Yasuke, but we could have also seen the backstory of several other characters, including the Benin guy, who we could have seen living in Nigeria. And just as a side note, it would also have been interesting to learn more about that Russian lady's backstory in Russia. Why not? That would be learning a little bit more about culture as well. Different culture, but still another culture, and I like learning about culture in general. And of course, all this backstory for all these different characters can add to character development, which I said was such an important thing that could have added a lot more to this story. And speaking of African culture in a sci-fi anime, if you liked Yasuke, then I would highly recommend another animation that's still in progress being made called Johansei, which is also an African sci-fi, and I'm looking forward to that a lot more, to be honest. There's way more cultural stuff in Johansei, and if you want, you don't have to take my word for it. Check out my other Johansei videos. You'll see there's just tons and tons of attention to detail. It's great. So if you liked Yasuke, you should definitely be anticipating Johansei, which has been in production for a while, and I think it's going to be awesome. Now, lastly, I just want to say again that I do think Yasuke was good, but I just had a few qualms with it. Mostly, it's just that I'm saying that I want to see more of it. I mean, if I want to see more of it, then clearly there's something good there. There's something great, and it certainly has potential to be better. I just want there to be more episodes so that we can see more of the story, because within 6 episodes, that tends to rush things a bit, and I wish it could have slowed down a bit more, and we could have known the characters better. Maybe I would have a better time remembering the names of all the other characters besides just Yasuke, because that's literally the only character I can remember the name of. But yeah, I just want to emphasize that because I know some people are going to be annoyed that I'm nitpicking things, but that's the point of a review. So those are my thoughts and opinions on the show, and like I mentioned in the previous Yasuke related video, at some point I do want to talk more about his heritage, the Yao people, because they are a real culture that we can dig into more. When we'll do that, I'm not sure, but eventually. Alright, I guess that's it, really. Yeah, that's the review, folks. That is the review. I hope you enjoyed, and have a great day.